You think just 'cause you got bounce, you're gonna outshine my starters. Not in my gym, boy." The whole gym falls silent. Coach Halbrook's voice cuts through the roar of the crowd like a slap to the face. Jamal just stands there, stunned, breathing hard on the sideline, sweat dripping from warm-ups he hasn't had a chance to use. They're down by 12. Scouts are in the stands. Jamal's the only one who's lit up the court in weeks. And yet, still benched. The rest of the team avoids his eyes. Some nod along with the coach. Kyle, the team captain, smirks without fully turning. The coach doesn't stop. "We play team ball, not highlight reels. This ain't Rucker Park." That last part isn't just a dig, it's a message. Coded, sharp, and deliberate. Jamal's chest tightens. He wants to respond. He wants to say, "You let Kyle throw up bricks all season and still call him a leader?" But he's been taught since he was 6, keep your cool or they'll call you angry. So he clenches his jaw, watches the scoreboard, and sits back down. But the silence in the gym, that wasn't just tension, that was witnessing. A voice breaks through from the upper bleachers. "Put number 5 in already. What are you doing?" It's apparent, not his, not anyone he knows, but loud enough that half the gym turns. Coach stiffens. The assistant coach lowers his head. Jamal doesn't move. He just stares at the floor, heart racing. Another fan chimes in. "Come on, he's the only reason we even stayed close last game." Coach Holbrook finally turns toward the stands and shrugs like it's out of his control. "He's flashy, sure," he says, loudly enough for everyone to hear. "But we need team players, not showboaters looking for a mixtape deal." Laughter from a corner of the student section. Jamal blinks slowly. He wasn't laughing. The coach's words hang in the air like smoke. Showboaters. Mixtape deal. Flashy. Words that sound safe to the school board. Words that mean something else entirely to Jamal. He looks up, dead into Coach Halbrook's eyes, and the man meets his gaze for less than a second before turning back to the clipboard. Jamal's fingers twitch. He remembers that practice last week, how he crossed Kyle up so bad the gym gasped. Coach stopped the drill 2 plays later and made everyone run suicides. "Flashy don't win games," he said that day. But the truth, it was controlled. The more Jamal stood out, the harder Coach worked to shrink him. And now, in front of hundreds, with scouts watching and cameras rolling, Coach has made his message official. Jamal Carter may be talented, but he's not one of them. At least, not on Coach Holbrook's court. Jamal doesn't flinch, don't talk back, doesn't even shift in his seat. He just stares forward, past the court, past the noise, into some space only he can see. Inside, he's boiling, but outside, calm, still. A white towel draped over his shoulders, knees bouncing. His teammates pass in front of him for warm-ups and ignore him like he's invisible, except Kyle, who smirks and taps the ball off Jamal's knee. Whoops. Jamal doesn't even react, but his eyes say everything. Eyes that burn with rage, with exhaustion, knowing this isn't the first time and might not be the last. Jamal reaches beneath his jersey and wraps his fingers around a worn metal dog tag. He never takes it out in public, never explains what it means. It belonged to his father, Staff Sergeant Marcus Carter, killed in action 3 years ago. The weight of it is familiar, comforting, heavy. He grips it tighter, like a grounding wire, like armor. Because if he says one word, just one, it's over. And everyone in this gym knows it. He whispers it so low only he can hear. "I told myself I wouldn't let this happen again." Because it's not the first time he's been punished for being too good, too fast, too confident, too black. Back in Oakland, a coach told him, "Tone it down. You don't want to come off cocky." He did. He tried, he played humble, stayed quiet, I worked harder, and it still wasn't enough. Tonight just confirmed what his uncle warned him. Some people don't fear your failure. They fear your shine. So Jamal breathes deep, nods once, and decides, if they're going to hate me anyway, I might as well give them something to talk about. Can I help you with something? The store clerk doesn't even try to hide it. Jamal hasn't touched anything yet. He just walked in. Same tone, same look. Like his presence needs permission. He nods once and walks out. He's used to it now. Microaggressions so soft they leave bruises only he can feel. Different schools, different street signs, but the same stares from driveways, from locker rooms, from teachers who smiled just a little too tight. He thought leaving Oakland might make things easier. He thought blending in would mean less friction. But peace doesn't come with a new zip code, just different rules to survive. You're Dell's nephew, right? He hears it all the time, at open gyms, at camps, even at school, like it explains everything. Yeah, he's related to the Currys. But that's not what drives him, his real compass. Staff Sergeant Marcus Carter, his father. Gone, but never absent. The discipline, the silence, the refusal to bow, that's from Dad. Jamal doesn't run from legacy, he just carries it differently. One from bloodline, one from heartbreak. He tries not to outshine, keeps passes simple, moves quiet. Let Kyle lead the drills. But talent doesn't ask permission. A behind-the-back dime. Step back 3. Steal into transition dunk. Even when he downshifts, eyes find him. Not in awe, in suspicion. It's like the moment he shows who he really is, they flinch, whisper. Call him extra or cocky. But no one says that when Kyle yells after a bucket. Some players earn praise. Jamal earns side eyes. The coach reads off starters. Doesn't look Jamal's way. No explanation, no feedback. Just cold silence. In the huddle, he's air. On the bench, he's decorated. But when does he play? He wrecks matchups, leads comebacks. Teammates still won't high-five him. Won't call for the ball. I didn't see you open, Kyle says like it's gospel. Funny how he's invisible in the locker room, but undeniable under lights. That's what keeps him sane. The court doesn't lie. He couldn't name it at first. The skipped nods, the cut-off jokes, the way no one sat near him at lunch the first week. It wasn't loud, it wasn't obvious. That's the thing about discrimination at school. It rarely screams. It whispers. But Jamal's been listening. And what he hears? A storm building. What the hell was that? Coach Halbrook's voice cuts through the gym. Everyone freezes. Jamal just nailed a no-look pass, clean and fast, right into the lane. Kyle fumbled it. Now, Coach is in his face. You want to play street ball, go back to the park. This is organized basketball, boy. That last word sits differently. Heavy, dirty, nobody reacts. Not the assistant coach, not the teammates pretending to tie shoes. Jamal doesn't flinch, but his jaw tightens. He's heard that tone before. It's the kind that dares you to react so it can label you aggressive. Yes, coach, he says quietly. But inside, it's fire. Because this isn't coaching. This is a man trying to shrink him down, disguise bias as discipline, and everyone's letting it slide. Yo, did you see what Kyle sent last night? Jamal looks up. The locker room goes quiet. Oh, I thought you were in the group chat. Nah, it's probably just varsity guys, someone mumbles. He is on varsity, has been for weeks. He scrolls his messages. Nothing, no invites, no updates, just silence. He laughs once, sharp and short. It's not even about the group chat, it's about what it says. They made a place he wasn't supposed to see. Unspoken exclusion, not enough to report, just enough to hurt. And that kind of racism, It hides behind, "It's no big deal." Third time this month. His practice jersey's gone again, locker locked, still gone. "Are you sure you didn't leave it at home?" Coach asks, not even looking up. Number, "I double-checked." "Then I guess you better double-check harder." Jamal doesn't argue. But when he walks back out in a random spare, he sees Kyle smirking in the corner. He won't say anything. Not yet, but his gut knows. And discrimination in school sports doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it just pretends not to see. Jamal strips the ball clean. Crossover, spin, bucket, tweet. The coach whistles. "Travel." The whole gym stops. No one saw it. Because it didn't happen. Next play, Jamal swipes Kyle again, finishes strong. Tweet. No hand checking, sub him out. He doesn't bother fighting it. It's not about the rules, it's about keeping the hierarchy in place. Kyle can stumble through plays and still get praise. Jamal can dominate and still get benched. It's not just favoritism, it's a pattern, a power move, a message. And Jamal hears it loud and clear. He's all flash, just trying to get on somebody's mixtape. Jamal freezes at the hallway corner. That's Coach's voice. "We don't need another TikTok baller, we need discipline." Laughter. Not from students, from adults. It's not about plays, not about practice. It's about image, his image. The coach doesn't say his name, he doesn't need to. Because Jamal knows exactly who they're mocking. And it's not his game they hate. It's the fact that it shines, no matter how much they try to dim it. He stares at the ceiling that night. What if they're right? His hands, shaky. His heart, heavy. Is confidence a threat now? Is showing up a problem? He starts thinking maybe if he stopped smiling after buckets. Maybe if he blended in more. Maybe then they'd stop punishing him for being great. "They tried this with me too," Uncle Del says over FaceTime. Just quieter. Jamal doesn't speak. "Keep your light, and next time, record it. Document everything. Evidence don't lie." Jamal nods. Because he's learning now. This ain't just about the ball. It's survival. "Coach, I know how to break their zone." The whole locker room turns. Jamal's voice is calm, controlled. Coach Holbrook keeps scribbling on the whiteboard, not even looking up. "They're trapped high. If we float a corner baseline cut and screen weak side, Kyle's free. Every time." It's solid, smart. He knows it'll work. He's seen this setup before, back in AAU. But Coach finally turns, and there's that smirk. "Oh, so now you're the strategist?" "I'm saying I've seen." "What you've seen doesn't matter. We run my offense." The players shift awkwardly. A few glance down. "But we're down 12. Don't interrupt me again." Jamal swallows it. Hard. He was trying to help. But he forgot the rules don't work the same for him, not when you're black, talented, and unapologetic. The coach looks around the room. "Anybody else want to coach this team?" Silence. Jamal clenches his jaw. If he sits quietly, they ignore him. If he speaks, he's a problem. There's no winning this game, not off the court. "You hear me?" "Coach, I was just trying to—" "Sit your ass down." The words explode off the walls like a slap. Jamal doesn't move. Everyone freezes. The coach steps forward, chest puffed, eyes flaring. "I swear to God, one more word, and I'll bench you for the rest of the damn season. You think you're untouchable 'cause your uncle played pro? You ain't earned nothing here." Jamal blinks once. But he doesn't back down. He won't give him the flinch he's looking for. "Got too many cameras on you now, huh? Scared you might not go viral if you pass the damn ball." Laughter, nervous, scattered, edges the room. Jamal turns slowly, sits his heart's thumping, like it wants out of his chest. Every bone in him wants to stand. Say something, anything. But he doesn't, because the coach isn't just trying to shut him up, he's trying to erase him. He scans the locker room. Eyes drop, feet shuffle. Marcus, the point guard, looks down at his shoes. Dez taps his water bottle like he didn't hear. Even Kyle, who knows Jamal's right, just leans back and crosses his arms. Not one voice, not one damn word. Jamal doesn't expect loyalty, but respect. He thought, maybe they'd have that. Guess not. He's not just fighting discrimination in sports, he's fighting cowardice, and it wears the face of silence. This is what it feels like to be surrounded and still alone. He leaves the locker room before the game even starts. Chest tight, vision blurry, the echo of "boy" still in his ears. What he doesn't know, the school's gym feed was live. Parents, students, fans watching online. They saw it, the tone, the words, the rage, and Jamal's silence. This isn't just a moment anymore, it's a mirror, and it's reflecting something ugly. By morning, the clip will go viral. Black athlete berated by coach on live stream. But Jamal doesn't know that yet. Right now, all he knows is he's tired, and he still has to play. Jamal, suit up. He looks up from the end of the bench. Now? There's 38 seconds left. The coach doesn't even blink. You play, or you sit the next 2 games. The scoreboard screams the truth. They're down 12. Game's lost. This isn't about strategy, it's punishment. Kyle glances down the bench, shame on his face, but still silent. Jamal peels off his warm-up, slow. He hears the crowd murmuring, confused. Why now? Isn't he their best shooter? He walks to the scorer's table. Breathe deep. The coach leans in close. No showboating, no heat checks. You make one statement and I'll make sure it's your last game. Jamal smiles, but not the kind you show when you're happy. It's the kind you wear when you're done pretending. The ball hits his hands. 10 seconds left. They're still down double digits. Doesn't matter. He dribbles once, twice, crosses half court. Coach starts yelling. Jamal ignores it. He pulls from half court. Network, nothing but net. The gym gasps, like someone just opened a window mid-blizzard. He doesn't smile, doesn't raise his arms, he just walks away. It wasn't about the score, it never was. It was about the fact that he could, and that they didn't want him to. That shot wasn't for the crowd, it was for every time they told him to shrink. You showboating son of a, get back on the damn bench! The coach is red, spitting. Jamal keeps walking. Calm, light in his chest, even as the gym shakes with tension. Sit your ass down, the coach screams again. But Jamal's not hearing him anymore, because the gym isn't watching coach, they're watching him. We're not here to build brands, we're here to build teams. Coach Halbrook's voice hits every local news station the next day. He's doing interviews now, talking about discipline and humility, about players letting family fame go to their heads. Not a word about the yelling, the bias, the viral video. Jamal watches it all unfold from home. His phone's buzzing every 5 seconds. DMS shares, news clips. He's not surprised when the athletic director calls. We're going to need you to sit out the next 2 games. Optics, you know? He laughs, cold. Optics. That's what they always say right before they cover up racial injustice with a polite lie. But Jamal's not the same kid from last week. He's already planning what comes next. You see this? Watch. Watch how calm he is. That's not a heat check. That's a message. The clip is everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, ESPN. Jamal's shot loops on sports pages and social feeds like a rally cry. But it's not just the bucket, it's the silence after, the calm, the restraint. Benched Starberries half-court shot after being humiliated by coach. Silent protest or next-gen athlete. The takes pile in, but under the hype, something real is happening. People start watching the full clip, rewind, listening to the locker room audio, catching the way coach spit boy like a curse word, catching how Jamal never said a thing. That silence is louder than anything he could have yelled. In comments, in DMs, in reposts, people are naming it: racial injustice, microaggressions, abuse of power. They're not calling him cocky now. They're calling him controlled, composed, deliberate. Jamal didn't plan to go viral, but when the truth hits the timeline, you don't need a mic to make noise. Yo, a new video just dropped. Listen to this. No, seriously, listen. The second clip leaks before lunch. It's grainy, low quality, but the sound, crystal clear. I don't care how many scouts like his highlight reels. This ain't a TikTok court. He's flashy, he's arrogant, and he thinks because he's got some NBA blood, he doesn't have to learn respect like the rest of us. Then the voice drops lower, meaner. You let boys like that get too loud, and they start thinking they own the place. The room falls dead quiet again. This isn't a strategy. This is racial bias with a whistle. And now the world sees it too. The internet turns hostile. Threads explode. Parents demand action. Former players start speaking up. He talked to my kid the same way. We left that program for this exact reason. Coach Halbrook isn't just a local problem anymore. He's trending. #HalbrookExposed. And Jamal? He doesn't say a word. He doesn't have to. The tweet hits like lightning. That's my little cousin. Let the kid play. Stephen Curry. 6 words, no hashtags, no PR fluff, just wait. Suddenly, it's not just social media, it's CNN, Bleacher Report, The Breakfast Club. Interview requests flood Jamal's inbox. His phone's a war zone of pings and headlines. He doesn't say yes, he doesn't say no, he's still absorbing it all. Dell walks in, phone in hand, eyes soft. Told you, record it. Keep your light. Truth always finds daylight, nephew. Jamal nods, but he's not smiling. Because going viral isn't vindication. It's exposure, it's pressure, it's eyes. And when all those eyes fade, he still has to live here. Effective immediately, Coach Halbrook has been placed on administrative leave pending investigation. The school sends a bland press release, but it's too late for PR spin. News trucks are lined up outside. Students gather in the parking lot, filming TikToks with signs. Let him play. Silence is complicity. Racism isn't just overt. For the first time in a long time, people are naming it for what it is. Systemic racism. Discrimination in school athletics. The team has mandatory media sensitivity training, but Jamal knows that's just code for we're scared of lawsuits now. And still, no apology, no acknowledgement. But the silence, it's starting to crack, and power's starting to shift. Yo, Jamal's here. Phones lift. Whispers trail like shadows. He walks through the doors like thunder, steady, unavoidable. No hoodie, no headphones, just presence. And for once, people see him, not as a problem, not as a threat, not as the quiet black kid with a crossover, but as a kid who stood up without shouting, who took every microaggression and turned it into momentum. Girls nod, teachers pause. Even the janitor gives him a slow clap. The hall feels different. Not safe, never safe, but shifting. Jamal's not out for revenge, but he's done ducking. Kyle corners him after chem, voice low, eyes heavy. I heard the stuff Coach said. I knew it was wrong. Jamal waits. I froze, man. I should have said something. Should have stood up. It hangs there. Not forgiveness, not yet, but honesty. You're the only reason we ever win, and I acted like you were invisible. Jamal doesn't speak. Not right away. He's still learning how to hold apologies without holding the weight of fixing them. He nods. That's it. No handshake, no back pat, just a nod. But in that hallway, for the first time all year, he doesn't feel alone. Some people break you, some people break with you. And that's how the light gets in. Effective immediately, Coach Halbrook will no longer be returning to Central High. The PA crackles out the words like they're nothing. But in the gym, it hits like a dunk at the buzzer. No applause, just held breaths, quiet glances. Jamal doesn't flinch. Don't nod, don't smile. He just breathes. This isn't victory, not yet. But it's the first time the walls that boxed him in shifted. No more fake apologies, no more, he's just hard on everyone, just consequences. And finally, accountability. Number 5, Jamal Carter. No bench, no late-game mercy sub, no warnings to tone it down. He walks onto the court as a starter, not a distraction, not a risk, not a problem. His name echoes like it belongs. New coach, new plays, same old Jamal. But something's different. He's not chasing approval anymore, he's playing free. And every cut, pass, and pivot, it's a reminder to anyone watching, he earned this. And he's been ready. This ain't revenge, this is reclaiming. He doesn't showboat, don't talk trash. He lets the scoreboard do the talking. 3 defenders on him, spin, dish, bucket, corner trap, step back 3. Network. Crowds chanting his name now, but Jamal's locked in. This game isn't about proving them wrong. It's about reminding himself he was always right. Right to believe in his game. Right to name the microaggressions. Right to not shrink just to survive. And by the final buzzer, the only state that matters is respect. You know what hurts most? Jamal says, mic in hand on ESPN. It's what I expected. He's calm, measured, but his words cut. From the missing jerseys to being benched for playing too well, I knew what it was. Racial injustice, disguised as discipline, disguised as tough love. His mom grips his shoulder. Uncle Del stands beside them, arms crossed with pride and pain. I got lucky, Jamal says. I had a family that taught me to fight clean, but not every kid does. He looks dead into the camera. So if you're watching this and you're dealing with that same quiet disrespect, record it. Speak up. Don't dim your light just to survive. A beat. This wasn't just about me. And now, everybody knows it. I let it happen. Kyle's voice shakes as he stands at the same press table. I saw how Coach treated him. I laughed with y'all when his jersey went missing. I said nothing when he got benched. He doesn't look for sympathy. He owns it. We say, it's just how it is. We say, keep the peace. But silence, it protects the problem. He turns to Jamal, then back to the cameras. I don't expect forgiveness, but I owe him my voice. And sometimes, the loudest justice starts from quiet truth. What happened to Jamal isn't rare, it's recorded. The next generation isn't staying quiet. Pundits debate, schools re-examine, teams hold workshops. Coach Halbrook becomes a case study in racial bias in school athletics. And Jamal's clip? It's now used in training, not just for what happened, but for how he stood, with calm, with fire, with truth. The system cracked a little, and through that crack, a new voice rose. Not broken, just finally heard. Why'd he have to do all that just to be seen? Because some of us don't get to just play. We have to prove, protect, and perform, twice as hard for half the credit. If you've lived this, drop your story. If you've watched in silence, say something. Let's make sure Jamal's not next.